Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending. How's everyone? How's everyone doing tonight? Hope it is going well for you. I'm doing all right myself. Yeah, we have jail tier because some Pokemon deserve to be in jail. Uh, Tonight, before we get into some more Pokerogue, I've decided to make a tier list for all of the Gen 1 Pokemon, based entirely on my subjective opinion of them. There are no guidelines, there are no rules. It will be incredibly inconsistent and probably the worst takes you have ever heard. But it is my opinion, and I am sticking to them. We have our tiers here on screen. The first is Peak. This is a Peak Pokemon. There's nothing better than it. And there is Awesome. Pretty self-explanatory. Actually, all the tiers are pretty self-explanatory. Awesome. That Pokemon's pretty awesome. It's I. I mean, it's I. And there's mid in its actual definition of middle, average, not great, not awful. There's less than great, which is just a nice way of saying bad. There's not awesome, which, is not awesome. Not awesome is a nicer way to say this shit stank. And then jail is this Pokemon is so offensive, it should be incarcerated. Your peak, my friend. So we can just hop right into it. And first on the list, we're going to be going in Pokedex order because of whoever made this tier maker put them in such. First on the list is Bulbasaur, and he's going straight to the top. Bulbasaur is a peak Pokemon. I love this dude so much. I think Bulbasaur is such a fucking goon, honestly. In addition to that, I think he is a perfect grass type Pokemon where Game Freak had blended the ideas of a monster and a plant so well into one being. Whereas a lot of the other grass types on this list, they're kind of just sentient plants. The Bulbasaur lines are actual monsters that are integrated with plants, and I like that a lot. I'm also incredibly biased. Bulbasaur was my first starter. So I think he's pretty peak. I don't think it gets much better than that. Next up is Ivysaur. He's going straight to awesome. I think Ivysaur is a good middle design in between Bulbasaur and Venusaur. But like, it doesn't do anything better than Bulbasaur already established. It's just kind of the logical next step. And I feel the same way about Venusaur. Venusaur is also awesome, but I don't like either of them as much as Bulbasaur himself. I'm not going to be doing Mega Pokemon. I think Megas are Gen 6 Mons, not Gen 1. So we will be skipping right over him and moving on to Charmander. And Charmander is pretty awesome. I think Charmander is better than these two. Charmander's awesome. I love this dude. And we have Charmeleon. A lot of starters have this like struggle with the middle stage. And I feel like Charmeleon kind of nails it, honestly. Like, yeah, it is just kind of bridging the gap between these two, which that's what it's there for. But I think it does it well. It's got the one horn instead of two. The only thing I don't like about it is the different colorations. I wish like either they were all the same color or they were all different colors. Because that'd be sick and more consistent. But I think Charmeleon is alright. And then we have Charizard. Now, this is probably going to be my first hot take of, of this entire list. Charizard is mid. And I just like, I don't love Charizard. He's my lead. No, I'm kidding. Charizard's awesome. Charizard is awesome. He's not a peak Pokemon, like Game Freak seem to think he is, but I mean, they market him very heavily for a reason. He's pretty cool. I think he's better than It's I think he's better than I think he's pretty awesome. The only thing I don't love about him is one that this motherfucker is like 5'3". This motherfucker's 5'7". Like I could 1v1 a Charizard, and that ain't alright. He's 5'7" and lighter than me. Like I'm 1v1ing a Charizard, and he's not getting back up. And that doesn't just emanate the kind of power you would expect from this big ass dragon. And then another thing, he's kind of tubby. Like everything going on the top half of his body makes it think like, oh, he takes himself so seriously, and then there's a little bit of a disconnect on the lower half. And I don't love that. So I won't call him peak, but he's pretty fucking awesome. Then we have Squirtle. Squirtle is awesome. Honestly. Like, Game Freak cooked with these first three. They knew what they were doing. Gen 1 is popular for a reason. They did their shit. Just no complaints. He's just a little guy. He's a friend. Look at that face. That is the face of a friend right there. And then Wartortle will be the first mid. When I look at Wartortle, I'm not like offended, but I just don't love it. I feel like they didn't know how to bridge this gap like they do with everyone else. But he's not like offensive. I just don't love him. He just feels out of place. Blastoise though, Blastoise is awesome. Blastoise is fucking awesome, dude. It's just a turtle with cannons coming out the back. That shit is tight. That shit is tight. Yeah, like the wing ears and the cool tail, like that's just completely lost in between Squirtle and Blastoise, and it just feels completely miscellaneous. Like they needed something to differentiate it and not just make it a bigger Squirtle. And I think that's weird. Don't love it. Then there's Caterpie. Caterpie's aight. Caterpie is aight. I don't have a problem with it. I think it does its job, and it does it well. It's just a bug. But he's a cute bug, and he's very, like, anatomically correct to what it's based off of, and that's kind of cool. Metapod is awesome. I love this dude. And it is entirely based off of that one episode in the anime where the two Metapods are just having a hardened battle against each other. And I can never unsee that in my brain whenever I look at Metapod, and it's a good memory. So I think he's kind of awesome. And then Butterfree is mid. I know I'm biased towards Metapod because of the anime. I don't have that same feeling for Butterfree. I just think, yeah, that's a butterfly. Cool. What next? And the answer for what next is Weedle, who I think is less than great. I don't love Weedle. Don't love his design. I think he's annoying as a bitch. You get Poison Sting in Viridian Force, and you gotta go back every single time. It's annoying. Do not like it. And then Kakuna, I think is mid. And the reason I think Kakuna is mid, it's probably where I would put Metapod if I weren't biased. But when I think of Kakuna, I think, oh, that's just Metapod again. And that's kind of lame. It's kind of what happens when you come after Caterpie, I guess. Next up is Beedrill. Now, Mega Beedrill is awesome. Mega Beedrill is fucking sick. But we're not talking about Mega Beedrill, just Beedrill. And Beedrill's aight. He's a B. He's scary. He does its job. Evolves early. And then learns 2 bug moves in Gen 1. Like, I would never use one on my team. So maybe I actually don't think he's aight. That actually might put him in mid. Because, like, I don't think I have feelings for Beedrill. Yeah, I think he goes better in mid. Who I do have feelings for is Pidgey. Pidgey is sick. He's just a little dude. Catch him on Route 1. That's all reliable right there. You can always start up a game and know Pidgey has got your back. He's that number 2 slot on your team every time. That's beautiful. And then Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is even higher. Pidgeotto might be awesome. No. Pidgeotto's just alright. I love Pidgeotto. He's so sick. And then he evolves into Pidgeot and becomes mid. Don't like Pidgeot. I wish I could just stay Pidgeotto. And it's like, if it weren't more powerful, I wouldn't evolve it. I like the way Pidgeotto looks more. He looks more aerodynamic. This guy looks tubby. Looks like he shouldn't be flying around at Mach 5. And I also like the hair more. I just don't love Pidgeot. Rattata, I think I feel nothing towards Rattata or Rattata. I don't have any strong opinions. He's purple. I like that. That's about it. Raticate is less than great, honestly. Like Rattata, inoffensive, don't care, but he's kind of cute and he's purple. Raticate doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have the one thing redeeming it. So I can't hold it in the same esteem as Rattata. And Rattata has youngster Joey, you know, repping him. He doesn't say his Raticate is the top of all Raticate. That's the Rattata. So don't love Raticate. Even Blue gets rid of his after the SSN fight. Like, if Blue ain't repping it, I don't care for it. Now, there's Spearow, which is less than great. Spearow always just struck me as a discount Pidgey. He just looks kind of scrappier and angrier. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but why would I pick you over Pidgey? You know? Do you evolve into something cool? And then it evolves into Fearow, which is our first not awesome. Fearow is not awesome for one reason and one reason alone. My child brain thought Fearow evolved into Ho-Oh. I thought these body types were so similar. And I'm like, oh, Fearow is definitely going to evolve into Ho-Oh. I just need to level up a little bit more. And then it never does. Because they're two different Pokemon from two different generations. And that is kind of dookie. That, like, you can see how cool this kind of rubber chicken body type can work with these nice crested wings and head thing and this floofy tail. And then you look at it here and it's like, oh, you just kind of look emaciated. Yeah, Fearow looks like Ho-Oh after crack. And that's not awesome. Drugs are not awesome. So, Fearow, not awesome. Next up is Ekans. It's a snake. And that's it. Like, I know Pidgey's just a bird, but Pidgey's a cool bird, you know? I know Caterpie's just a bug, but that's Caterpie. Like, these are iconic. Ekans is just a snake, and it's snake backwards. Like, Ekans is less than great. Arbok, on the other hand, Arbok is sick. I like Arbok a lot. The only reason, even though it's also just a snake and it's Cobra backwards, what puts it like this much of a discrepancy between Ekans and Arbok is solely the crest on its chest. The scary looking face, that is so sick. And then there's and then Arbok has different patterns depending on what game you're in. Like, that's sick. That's just cool. It's a little detail they didn't have to do, but they did. So that puts Arbok at he's at the top of I. Next up is Pikachu, and I think Pikachu will be the gatekeeper for its eye. Like, if I like something more than Pikachu, that makes it awesome. But Pikachu, he's pretty aight. Like, he's the face of the biggest media franchise on the planet. And it's for a reason. He's a good design, iconic as shit. But definitely oversaturated in my brain, and I don't love him for that. But I also think like if I separate that from myself and I'm just a kid again walking through Viridian Forest and I see him, it's pretty cool. I don't know that I would love him though. And then Raichu, he's also alright. He's just a chunky Pikachu. Uh, Sandshrew. Sandshrew is Sandshrew mid. Like he's okay. I like in the show slash one of the movies, I don't remember. I like it when they show Sandshrew and he's against a sandstone wall and he's all camouflaged in, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's just a cute little guy. What's he doing there? But I don't feel much for him outside of he's cute until he evolves. And when he evolves, he's pretty freaking awesome. Sandslash is so sick. I love this dude. And then his shiny, like it looks like he has rubies on his back. That is sick. Like, look at this dude. That is so sick. I love him. He's awesome. Now we get to the Nidorans. I think Nidoran female is alright. I think Nidoran male is alright. I like the purple more than the blue. I think Nidorino is awesome. I think he's sick. I like he does kind of look just more like a bigger Nidoran, but he's just like so much more posed up and has attitude and he looks more aggressive and more about that action. And I like that a lot. And then he's in the intro cinematic for Gen 1. He's iconic. That's cool as shit. Nidorino or Nidorina is mid. I don't feel the same way about it. And then Nidoking is awesome. Nidoking goes there. Nidoking is so sick. He's like one of the few Pokemon that just feel like a unique monster, more so than an animal plus an element, or something that exists in the real world, but with a little bit of fantasy to it. Like it's got rabbit elements, it's got like rhino elements, it's armored, which is sick, and it just looks like a kaiju. And that's sick. I love Nidoking. He's always when I'm using my Moonstone on, as soon as I go through Mount Moon. But then there's Nidoqueen. And Nidoqueen, I think, is less than great. No. No, I think Nidoqueen is mid. And the only reason I hold Nidoqueen in less esteem than Nidoking, let me pull up a picture of both. All right, so we got Nidoking, Nidoqueen. First and foremost, purple. Good shit. Secondly, so the whole point of Nidoking and Nidoqueen in the first generation is to demonstrate a concept called sexual dimorphism in the Nido species. That's cool, especially before they invented gender in the Pokemon universe. That's a cool thing to do. That's sick. And what I do like that the male species is the pink one and the female species is the blue one, kind of subverting a little bit of those gender expectations. That's cool. But then you get to Nidoqueen. And what's the most prominent feature on Nidoqueen? It's the tits. Why does my rhino bunny monster have a bikini? Like, even if you want to give it breasts, like, that's, I don't love it. It's a monster, but that's fine. But why do you have to emphasize them? Like, Nidoking, he has this armor plating across his entire torso. Sick. Queen, where did it go? Why does she have tits? And like that weirdly unnecessary sexualization. Like even on the smallest bit, they made this monster wear a bikini. And that little bit of sexualization really, really tears down Nidoqueen for me. Because if it didn't have that, it's right up there with Nidoking. Honestly. Like, if it's just a more maternal, and the way they're showing that in this species is it's softer looking, that's sick. That happens in nature sometimes. I'm cool with that. But they went an extra mile and it was in the wrong direction, and I do not love that. So Nidoqueen drops to mid. Nidoqueen. Ugh. I like Nidoqueen less than Nidorina. And it's like, I'm never choosing Nidoran female if I have the choice in the game. Honestly. Alright, diatribe over. Next up, Clefairy. Clefairy, I feel nothing towards. Honestly. I have no thoughts on Clefairy. And then there's Clefable, who I think is not awesome. And that is purely because of stall teams in competitive Pokemon. I cannot stand this little fucker. Oh, I hate her so much. Ooh, get her out of here. Just get her out of here. Now, we're on to some of that good. Vulpix, straight to the top. Straight to the top. Vulpix is peak. I love Vulpix. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's fucking cute. Look at it. Like, that's a Pokemon right there. Look, it's cute. I want to pet it. I want to own it. I want this to be my partner in my adventure for the rest of my life. And then we get to Ninetales, which is also a peak Pokemon. Not as much. I love Vulpix more, and I never evolve it into Ninetales just because of how much I love Vulpix. But Ninetales is fucking sick. Ninetales is awesome. Ninetales is more awesome than awesome, because she's above awesome. She's peak. It's great. I love it. Moving on. Jigglypuff. If Jigglypuff were not in Smash Brothers, I would have no opinion of it. But it is in Smash Brothers. And I don't think that helps it. The more I'm thinking about, like, I was thinking, oh, it's in Smash. I love Smash. But the more I'm thinking of it, I think that puts it in less than great. No, but then you break its shield and it dies immediately. It pops like a balloon, and that's funny. And I like that. Then there's Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff also goes in its eye, but it goes a lot higher. Wigglytuff goes way up here, exclusively because of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Wigglytuff will beat your ass. If you know, you know. Zubat, less than great. It's annoying. You run into it every 40 seconds in a cave. Don't love that. Golbat, not awesome. Not awesome. If I could skip Golbat and go straight to Crobat after Zubat, I'm doing that. I'm doing that. I want to spend as little time with this fucker as possible. Oddish. Oddish is... Is Oddish awesome? I think Oddish might be awesome. I like Oddish a lot. That dude. See, Golbat's Gen 1 sprite brings him down for me. I don't love it. He's too long. Like, he has that big ass mouth. When he eats something, where does it go? He doesn't have a torso. He doesn't have organs. He is a silly guy. That is true. I think Oddish is awesome. I like Oddish a lot. He's just a little dude. What's he doing? What's he doing all the way down there? Love him. Don't have an explanation. That's just how I feel in my heart. Gloom, on the other hand, is not awesome. It just looks like a fucking cum bucket Pokemon, and I want nothing to do with it. I evolve it into Vileplume as soon as I can with a Leaf Stone. Vileplume, I think Vileplume is mid. I don't feel much for it. It's definitely an upgrade from Gloom, but like I don't go out of my way for Vileplume. I actually would rather go Bellsprout every day of the week, so I feel like it's alright. It's not alright, it's mid. Parasect, mid, I feel nothing. Or that's just Paris. Paris, mid, I feel nothing. Parasect is pretty cool. Parasect is pretty cool. The whole, like, this is the bug, but this is the mushroom. And, like, the sentience being swapped there, I like that. I like that a lot. It's a cool concept for Pokemon and exists in real life. And that's cool. Venonat, I feel nothing. Like, I've never used one, and I'm never going to use one. Venomoth, I also feel nothing. Diglett, though. Diglett's alright. Diglett is pretty cool. I like him a lot. And then there's Dugtrio, which is just more Diglett. And he's pretty fucking cool, too. I like them more than Wigglytuff. It's just like, he's so cool. He's just a little guy. And then there's more of him. And plus, they come in clutch for Surge's Gym. That's extra points right there. They're pretty cool. Next up is Meowth. And Meowth is, dare I say, awesome. I love cats. I love Payday as a move. He's about his money. He's got personality in the anime. I do like that a lot. And I like him more than Pikachu. And I said Pikachu was the gatekeeper, so he gets put in awesome. Oh, that's definitely their nose. That is definitely their nose. Yeah. It's got like a shine on it. It's bulbous. Next up is Persian, who is Persian is just it's just a cat. It doesn't have the same mischievous personality that sets Meowth apart. But it's still a cat, and I still like it. I like it more than Parasect. It'll go there. Psyduck. Psyduck goes way up. Psyduck is awesome. I love this dude. Not a thought behind those eyes, and that is my kind of Pokemon. Plus, Missy's in the anime, sick. Love him. He gets a headache and he gets mad, and then his psychic powers awaken. That's a cool guy. And then there is Golduck, who I feel nothing for. Moving on. Mankey is he comes in clutch whenever you pick Charmander, so he'll go next to Charmeleon. But Primeape is mid. I don't feel much for Primeape. He doesn't have the anime effect on me like a Metapod does. Growlithe is I don't love Growlithe, but I recognize he's pretty cool. Arcanine, I think I like Arcanine more than Pikachu. I'm just such a Ninetales head, like when I see Arcanine, I'm like, ew, yuck. But Arcanine's pretty cool. Arcanine's going up? No, I definitely like Venusaur more than Arcanine. I think these are misplaced. I like Ivysaur and Venusaur a lot. Poliwag. Poliwag is aight. Don't have a problem with him. He's just a cute little guy. Poliwhirl, on the other hand, is less than great. Like, I don't know why Poliwhirl exists. Don't love him. He's just like, he's just kind of there. You know? Poliwrath, though, is mid. I don't care much for Poliwrath. Like, Poliwag is cute. He ain't got no arms, and I love Pokemon that don't have arms. But then Poliwhirl, he gets arms. Not much more to say about that. Plus, he's got Hypnosis. That's annoying. At least Poliwrath, like, hits the gym. I can respect that. I ain't gotta like him, but I respect it. Abra's awesome. Abra is awesome. Just, you know, he's just a cool looking guy. Very unique looking. You catch one early in the game, and then you are rewarded heavily with Kadabra, who I think is... I like it more than these guys. Kadabra's alright. I ain't got beef with him. Don't like the whole spoon thing. But the tail is really cool. I like the tail a lot. And then Alakazam loses the tail, which puts him in mid for me. Don't love Alakazam. I recognize, like, he's kind of cool, but, like, if I could have Alakazam's stats, but it just looks like Kadabra, that's what I'm doing. So I feel like they're not on the same level. If he had the tail, maybe I'd like him more, but he doesn't. Machop is... I think Machop is mid. I don't have many feelings for Machop. Machoke, also mid. No, I think Machoke's alright. I like how bulky and beefy he is. I don't like his clothes. I wish he were naked. But he's alright. And then Machamp. Machamp would be awesome. But the beak takes away so much for me. I don't know if I can put him in awesome. No, I like him more than Pikachu. Yeah, the beak, I hate the beak so much, but like everything else about him is so cool. Bellsprout? Bellsprout is awesome. Look at that dude. Where's he going? Where is he going? I love this guy. Weepinbell, less than great. Less than great. Don't love Weepinbell. Like, there's not a thought behind those eyes, and I love that in a Pokemon, but he's just missing something. Victreebel is alright. Victreebel was my go-to grass type whenever I didn't pick Bulbasaur. So I have very fond memories with this guy. Tentacool, not awesome. He's Zubat, but in the water. Which I guess would put him less than great next to Zubat. Yeah, that feels right. And then Tentacruel goes right there next to him. Actually, Tentacruel did canonically cause 9/11 in the Pokemon universe. And national terrorism is not very awesome. I will give it that. Moving right along to Geodude. Geodude's alright. I like Geodude. He's just a guy. He's just a head and some arms. I like that. That's all you need. And then Graveler. Graveler is less than great. Where do the extra arms come from? Where do the legs come from? You had too few appendages, now you have too many. Like, pick one. And then they pick a happy medium, and Golem is pretty sick. Golem's pretty sick. I like Golem. And then he tucks his little head into himself and he rolls around. He's pretty cool. Ponyta. Ponyta is mid. I am never choosing Ponyta in a playthrough. Not when, for one, Vulpix is an option right there. 2, Growlithe is an option right there. Like, why would I ever pick this one? And Charmander's an option. Like, when would I pick Ponyta? It's just not a thing. And then there's Rapidash. I'm putting it in mid as a placeholder while I explain my thought process. Because I don't know where I'd put it right now. I don't love Rapidash. Like, a lot of Gen 1 has a problem of taking a smaller monster and then just making it bigger when it evolves. And it doesn't really escalate the concept surrounding that monster, if that makes sense. Like, for example, like Sandshrew to Sandslash, this is a pangolin, this is a hedgehog. Like, it's not just a bigger pangolin, you know? And he goes from just being very defense curl, very defensive, to like, okay, I'm still defense curling, but now my defense curl serves a purpose. Like, there's a step beyond just I'm a bigger Sandshrew when you go to Sandslash. And the only difference between these two is the horn. And this thought came to me when they revealed Galarian Ponyta and Rapidash, where I didn't know how badly I wanted a Pegasus Pokemon until they fucked up Galarian Rapidash. Like, you had such a free time to do it when you have a fairy type horse unicorn. But they fucked it up. And now I'm retroactively bringing that back to Rapidash, where I don't already care for Ponyta, but I feel like they dropped the bag with Rapidash. Like, imagine if he had fire wings. That'd be so sick. All that being said, I like Rapidash more than Ponyta. I like it more than Wartortle. And Ponyta can go here. But I don't think I can put it above mid. Like it's cool. It just feels like a bigger Ponyta. And I don't love that. Next up, Slowpoke. Slowpoke is very strong eyes. Again, not a thought behind those eyes. I love it. And then it evolves and becomes Slowbro. And Slowbro is awesome. I love this guy. It's just not a thought behind those eyes. But now those no thoughts have a direction to be focused in. You know? Like, he's definitely more powerful now because he can focus in his nothingness in a direction. And plus, it's just funny. He's getting his ass ate. That's funny. I love him. Magnemite? I don't feel much towards Magnemite. And Magneton is more Magnemite. Like, it's very much a Diglett Dugtrio situation, but I think Diglett is funny. And that puts it up there for me. Magnemite, I don't find funny. So it doesn't have that oomph to make me care about it. And then there's just 3 of them. Though this one actually does make sense for there to be 3 of because they're magnetized. So okay. I'll separate them. I do have some feeling for this because it makes sense for them to be together. But Magnemite, I don't feel much towards, so 3 of them, eh. Farfetch'd. Before the invention of Galarian Farfetch'd, and we're not ranking Galarian Farfetch'd, Farfetch'd is ass. Never use it, never want it. Why would I trade my Spearow for a Farfetch'd? It does nothing. It's just a rare single trade Pokemon. And it's like, yeah, but why? Like, I think I would rather use a Fearow than Farfetch'd. And I already don't like... I'm sorry, I'd rather use Spearow. And I don't like Spearow as is. So I think Farfetch'd is less than great. Doduo, I feel nothing towards. Dodrio, same thing. It's just like I think I like them more than Spearow, and that's kind of what's bumping them up. But I would never choose either of these over the Pidgey line. Seal, I feel nothing towards. Like, he's cute, and I like his tongue, but he's just a seal. And then there's Dugong, who I actively dislike, because he's just a Dugong, and he's not even cute. Not as cute. He's pretty cute, but he's not like, he doesn't have like, he's sticking his tongue out when he's a little guy, and that's cute. But Dugong just doesn't have it. Grimer and Muck are both not awesome. I don't love them. They're just sludge. Don't love pollution. Not about it. What's it called? Alolan Muck is sick because he eats pollution and helps clean things up. That's cool. That gets a thumbs up from me. Regular Muck and Grimer? Yuck. Blech. Don't like it. Shelder. Shelder is aight. I like Shelder more than Mankey. He's just a guy, and he got that tongue out. I like that a lot. Cloyster, also very cool. Cloyster is going pretty high. Yeah, gate kept by Slowpoke. Cloyster is a vagina. Point blank period. It has the labia. It has the vulva. It has the clitoris. That is a vagina. And I am all about that shit, for one, if you know. But in addition, like, he's got the highest defense in Gen 1. That's cool. He's a bulky boy. 2, he gets Shell Smash, Skill Link, Rock Blast, Icicle Spear. Like, that's some good tech. And then even if you don't White Herb on the Shell Smash, his defense is so high, it doesn't matter. That's a good Pokemon. I like him a lot. And then when he's just a little guy, like, he's cute. He got a little tongue out. He turned Slowpoke into Slowbro. That's got to be worth something. Ghastly. Ghastly is awesome. I like Ghastly a lot. There's not much to him, but there doesn't need to be. He's an amorphous ghost. And that's actually kind of the whole point, if I recall correctly. Like, the majority of Ghastly is still on the spirit side of things, you know? And he's just kind of barely slipping into our world until he becomes Haunter, where he what's the word? Materializes more of his solid form into our world. And that's fucking sick. And Haunter looks so cool. He is peak for me. He is really, really up there for me. I think Haunter looks so cool. And he like conveys the halfway between the real world and the spirit world very well, given just like his lower half is tapering off. Like, it's not all the way there. His hands are just barely here. He doesn't have them connected to his body at all. So it's like he's just reaching through the veil. And I think that's sick. He's so fucking cool. And then Gengar is awesome. Gengar is awesome. Ghastly goes here. But Gengar's awesome. I like Nidoking more, but Gengar's fucking really cool. Onyx. Onyx. Onyx has such potential to be so cool. He's a rock snake. Like, that's sick. But then you fight him in the first gen, so he has less attack than a Caterpie for balancing purposes. And that's so not cool. Like, you put Onyx in any other game, I think that's sick. But Onyx as he exists in Pokemon, I don't think I love him. There we go. I like him more than Pidgeot. Drowsy, not awesome. He's just a ugly little tapir. He's trying to hypnotize people, put them to sleep. That's not cool. But at least he's trying to just put them to sleep to eat their dreams. Unlike Hypno, who is going straight to jail. Hypno is looking like Drake. He is a certified pedophile. That's not cool. I don't condone that. I don't like that. I don't want it. Hypno goes straight to jail. He canonically hypnotizes children to abduct them. And that's not just a Pokedex entry. In the remakes, you go to Sevi Islands and he has kidnapped a little girl. That's not cool. That's not chill. That's actively not chill. Hate him. I wish he didn't exist. And even if you take that away, he's fucking ugly. He is just not pretty on the eyes, and he's not even cool ugly. You know? Because there are some Pokemon that are kind of ugly that also, like, kind of make it work for him. Like Geodude. Geodude's ugly, but the concept is kind of cool. He has zero things going for him. And I hope he never gets out on parole. Krabby. Krabby is not a Pokemon. It is a crab. It is a crab. The only thing saving it from not awesome is the noise he makes. Oh, you can't hear that. Audio. You still can't hear that. Why can't you hear that? Take my word for it. Krabby, he sounds funny. That saves him from not awesome. Kingler, on the other hand, he's just not awesome. He's just a big crab. He doesn't even sound funny. He just bubbles at the mouth and has a big meaty claw. No, I just talked myself out of it. I can't put him in not awesome. He's better than Fearow. As a matter of fact, they're better than Weedle. Yeah, I talked myself out of it. I like Mr. Krabs. Voltorb. I used to hate on Voltorb, and then I started playing like fantasy games, Dark Souls namely, and he's just a mimic. And that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Not super cool though. Electrode, on the other hand, he just turned over, and he just explodes. And terrorism, again, is kind of not awesome. So he will go down there. Execute, less than great. He's not even eggs. He's seeds. Why is he fronting? Just be yourself, man. And then Executor. No one gave a shit about this guy until the Alolan Executor came out. And then they ironically liked him. So, OG, don't love him. I do not care for him. It's like he is on Red's team. Not Red's team. He's on Blue's team. Like, if you didn't choose Squirtle, the grass type that Blue has at the championship battle is Executor. And no one remembers that. Because no one cares. Why would you? He's ass. Peak. Cubone is peak. Cubone is my favorite Pokemon of all time. He goes up there. I don't need to explain myself. Marowak, on the other hand, is just awesome. I don't have the same love for Marowak that I do Cubone. It's one of those situations that if the increase in stats weren't so good, and they're similar enough to where I can just look over it in my brain, but like I don't have the same love. Marowak is still awesome. I just don't love it as much. Guppy, you will go straight to jail too. I'm not playing. Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is awesome. I like Hitmonlee a lot. I like Hitmonlee a lot. He's just a guy with stretchy legs, and he goes kick, kick. Like, that's sick. Like, you go to the gym in Saffron City, you're picking Hitmonlee. If you have a functioning frontal lobe, you're picking Hitmonlee. He is the objectively correct choice. I always go with him. He is my go-to fighting type. And then there's Hitmonchan, which is less than great. I don't like Hitmonchan at all. For one, he's wearing actual clothes. Weird. Two, actual boxing gloves. Kind of weird. You're a monster. Why are you doing that? Like, I get you're based off a boxer, but you're a monster first. You just look like a dude. And then it's like, even ignoring that, the fuck is going on with dude's head? Like, there's just nothing about this mon I can get behind. And then, like, before Gen 4, before the physical special split, like, you get Fire Punch, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch. Homeboy doesn't even have Iron Fist yet to abuse them. You're just using them for thematics. And two, those are all special moves. Those are all special moves to be used by this 35 special attack. No thank you. Hitmonchan, Dookie tier. Hello, QG Pizza Gaming. How are you doing tonight? Then there's Lickitung. I like Lickitung a lot. I like Lickitung a lot. Like, Shelder gets so many points because he's cute with his tongue out. Lickitung is just so much further than that. And he's funny in the anime. Like, I like Lickitung a lot. I'm gonna put him next to Cloyster. That feels right. Coughing and wheezing. So, if you don't know, coughing and wheezing were originally going to be named Nai and La, which are just the letters NY and LA, as in New York and Los Angeles. Like, the Pokemon Company were just roasting American cities and how polluted they are. And if they went through with that, that's kind of sick. That's metal. Like, I would respect that and like these mons so much more. But they don't. So I kind of feel nothing for both of them. I feel more nothing than Wartortle, though. Yeah, that's fine. Rhyhorn is sick. Rhyhorn goes straight up to awesome. I love Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn is a good example of, like, what I expect Pokemon to be. Where, like, he's a rhino, but he's a fantasy rhino. And that's cool. And it's like, you're taking all the elements of what a rhino is in the real world and exaggerating them and making them fantastical, and it creates such a cool monster design. Where you have rhinos that are already, just for one, built like fucking tanks. And they're already armored, so that naturally kind of translates to an armored monster, which is what Rhyhorn's, like, stone plating is. He's armored. And then, like, he already has a horn, which is like, what are animals doing with horns? Like, nature goes kind of crazy. So, like, rhinos just naturally allow themselves to be made into a cool Pokemon. And I think Rhyhorn kills it. The only thing I wish from Rhyhorn is that his horn was bigger. I wish he was more horn. And if he was, he might be peak. But Like, that's a criticism. So, he can't be peak. And then there's Ride-On, which is still awesome, but way down in awesome. Like, I like Ride-On a lot less than Rhyhorn. And, like, where's the ban button? Like, Ride-On takes everything I like about Rhyhorn and just does away with it. Like, the Rhino elements get substituted for Kaiju elements. And, like, it's cool. But we already have Kaiju monsters. And it's like, if the stat boost weren't so significant, I would never evolve Rhyhorn. Rhydon's still awesome. Don't get it twisted. But Rhyhorn is just so much cooler to me. Chansey. Chansey is less than great. Chansey is a staple on every stall team. And that puts that at not awesome, honestly, in my book. Fuck a Violite Chansey. Get it out of here. However, I respect medical workers. So she goes there. Tangela. Tangela is awesome. Tangela is awesome. I like Tangela more than Charmander. He's just a little guy. He's just some vines and shoes and eyes, and you don't know what's behind there. But he's cute. I like him a lot. He's got mystique to him. Like, this is a monster, you know? A lot of Pokemon don't feel like monsters. Tangela is a monster. I can kind of see Tangela being a Gen 2 Mon. I kind of get that. What's next? Horsey. Horsey is alright. I like Horsey more than Charmeleon. Solely based on it's cute. And it does that really well. Seadra. Seadra, I have zero feelings towards. It loses the only thing that makes Horsey so I feel nothing. Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is pretty fucking cool. Like, I don't know if I want to put Kangaskhan in aight or awesome. Because, like, do I like Kangaskhan more than Pikachu? I think the answer is yes. I like Kangaskhan more than Rhydon. So, remember what I said about Nidoqueen and them showing sexual dimorphism and femininity in this monster design? I feel like Kangaskhan does that right. Kangaskhan is a female-only Pokemon. It is just canonically always a mother, which is sick. But like, the Pokemon Company didn't go the route of typical game design when designing femininity. Like, Kangaskhan is very mama bear energy, if that makes sense. Like, Kangaskhan is big and protective and warm looking. Like, those qualities befitting of a mother instead of the femininity route. And like, you look at a kangaroo, like, these things, low-key, kind of curvy. Like, kangaroos kind of have a natural pear shape to them. And they're very bottom heavy. It makes sense that they would be. So I feel like it would have been very easy for the Pokemon Company to lean away from the bulkier side of motherhood and be justified in doing so, because that's more accurate to what actual kangaroos look like. But they chose not to. And I like that a lot. And I feel like if Kangaskhan were designed today, it would be shaped like Serena. And I would like it a lot less if that were the case. But I think they did a good job with Kangaskhan. I like it a lot. It's just a little one-off Pokemon. Plus, there's the fan theory that Cubone is just a baby Kangaskhan. I gotta love that. I don't subscribe to that theory. I think it's more than likely a Charmander. Because, like, look at the horns. Look at the horns. Look at everything else between these two. Like, that just looks like a Charmander to me. And also Kangaskhan are always female. But Cubone can be male. Just saying. Next up, Goldeen. Less than great. It's just a fish. Honestly, like, Goldeen is probably the water type I choose the least in any game. Or in any Gen 1 playthrough. Like, I would choose Poliwag before Goldeen. It's like, it just... In the marketplace of my attention, my affection, and my want in a playthrough, Goldeen has zero competitive advantage. It doesn't get a unique type. It doesn't do anything great stat-wise. It doesn't have a cool design. Like, the only thing that sets this apart from just being an animal is the horn. And that means it learns Peck, which is the only thing that I can think of that sets it apart from Magikarp. And also, this motherfucker has bedroom eyes. And lips. Like, what are you doing? I kind of want to put it in not awesome. Because of the bedroom eyes and lips. I like you less than Gloom, but more than Terrorism. And then there is Seeking, which I like less than Goldeen. You know, I think I like Seeking less than Terrorism. I'll say it. I'll be bold. There's zero things I like about this design. Zero things I like about this Pokemon. Like, why would I ever use this over any other water type? And on top of everything, it's ugly. Not even a cool ugly, it's just ugly. Staryu, on the other hand. Staryu's pretty freaking cool. I like Staryu a lot. Staryu... Do I like Staryu more than Blastoise? I think I like Blastoise more than Staryu, but that's tough. And then Starmie... Starmie's really cool. Starmie was my go-to water type. It was always between... When I would choose Bulbasaur, it would always be between Starmie and Vaporeon. Just because, like, Starmie learns Bolt Beam. And that's sick. Even, like, 7-year-old me knew that was sick. Down to Mr. Mime, straight to jail. Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You go straight to jail. Alright, and then there is Scyther, who is peak. I love everything about Scyther. I would change nothing about it. It's just, like, this is such a cool Pokemon to me. It's a praying mantis, but it looks so much more combat ready. That shit's sick. Like, I would change nothing about Scyther, so he's peak. Jinx, straight to jail. You and Mr. Mime go together. Do not pass go. It's like... It's like that meme of, oh, what's worse than a rapist? And then they go, a child. And it's like, no. It's like, what's worse than a rapist? A racist. It's like, this is blackface Pokemon. That's not cool. That's not awesome. That's worse than not awesome. That is straight to jail. Electabuzz? I strongly dislike Electabuzz. I strongly dislike Electabuzz. I like it more than Fearow. I don't think it's not awesome. I think it's just less than great. I don't like anything about Electabuzz. It's just like, oh yeah, I really don't like this Pokemon. I love Elekid, and I love Electivire. I hate Electabuzz. Electabuzz does nothing for me. He just looks like, low key, he looks AI generated, but like 30 years ago. Then there's Magmar, same boat. I like him less than Electabuzz. He has the forehead boobs, which I really don't like. And then it's like, both of these mons, they just like, it's like, oh, it's an electric monster. Let's put a lightning bolt down his chest. Oh, it's a fire monster. Let's put flames on his tummy. It's like, I don't love that. You just feel like very disingenuous designs, and they feel very much like just padding, you know? Which I think Game Freak agreed with me because they gave them pre-evolutions and then evolutions. So I think they agreed they felt incomplete designs. Pinsir, on the other hand, Pinsir is awesome. Pinsir is very cool. I like him a lot. This thing is fucking scary. And it's supposed to be scary, so it does its job really well. Pinsir might be the one Pokemon that if I'm alone in the woods at night, I want to see this motherfucker the least. Like, I'd rather box with Gengar. Straight up. I want nothing to do with Pinsir. He is scary, and he does it really well. Tauros, I actively dislike Tauros. Right there. It's just a bull. It's just a bull. And it does nothing unique with that. It has 3 tails. For what? Like, I've never used Tauros in a playthrough, and I never will. Magikarp is awesome. Magikarp is awesome. He's just... No, and Paldea did not help Tauros at all. They just made more Tauros. And they're still not cool. Magikarp is awesome. I think everyone loves Magikarp. He's the definition of if you can't handle me at my worst, and you don't deserve me at my best. And this motherfucker's best is insane. He is awesome. And it's like level 20 to get this guy? That's insane. It's like if Gyarados came out in Gen 5, he would evolve at level 64. But level 20? Sheesh. Plus Intimidate? That's just a good mon right there. That's a good fucking monster. I think everyone loves these guys. I don't think that's a hot take. Lapras. Lapras is going up. Lapras is going up. Ooh. Do I like it? Ooh. There. Lapras will go right there. The only reason I don't think Lapras is peak is because it's just very derivative of the Loch Ness Monster. It's a very, very interesting take on it and twist on it, and Lapras looks like a friend, and I would want no one else by my side more on an ocean adventure. But it just lacks a certain je ne sais quoi to bump it up into this territory. Like, this just doesn't feel right. She doesn't belong. I do like her more than Gyarados, though. Ditto is awesome. I mean, Ditto can be any Pokemon. That's pretty cool. And like, even as himself, look at that face. Love that guy. He has the same face as Oddish. I'll put him next to Oddish. I just love emoji face. Eevee. I like Eevee. But do I like Eevee more than... I like Eevee more than Pikachu. But that's about all I can say. Like, Eevee's just another Pikachu. But when I played the Let's Go games, I chose Let's Go Eevee, so... you will go above that. Next up, Vaporeon. Vaporeon goes straight to the top. This is a GOAT Pokemon. I don't want to see the copy pasta. I don't want to see it. Don't you do it. But Vaporeon is such a pretty design. And it takes the idea of an aquatic mutation of this mammalian animal, and it executes it perfectly. Like, I would change nothing about Vaporeon. And back when I was a kid, when I got my Eevee, it always became a Vaporeon. And it's like, I would use Vaporeon more than I would use Starmie. And I think Starmie's really cool. This is the best Gen 1 evolution, free. Then there's Jolteon. Jolteon is alright. I don't like it more than Pikachu. I don't like it more than these guys. Get kept by Victory Bell. Jolteon's just fine in my brain. Like, there's nothing very specific about it that I actively love. Like, he's cool. But it's like, I'm never picking Jolteon when I'm evolving my Eevee. Never. Flareon, though. Flareon is awesome. I like Flareon more than Eevee, but that's about it. Flareon, I just think he looks cool. I think he has such a cool design, and his fur looks so flamey. Like, he isn't just Eevee, but on fire. He's a fire Eevee. Like, it's taking the elements of the element and applying it to this base design, and he just looks good like that. Though I never did pick Flareon, because Vulpix is right there. And in addition, Flareon has an insane attack stat, and fire moves are special up until Gen 4. So Flareon never did much for me. I just like the way he looks. A lot more than Jolteon and a lot less than Vaporeon. But that feels right. Porygon is cool. I don't know if Porygon is awesome. Porygon causes seizures, and that's not very awesome. I don't think I can put him in awesome because of that. I think I like Wigglytuff more than Porygon. He's cool. I like that he's like a 2D sprite representation of a 3D model. That's cool. But like, I think Porygon Z is a sick evolution of Porygon. And I think Porygon 2 is like a natural advancement of the concept. But Porygon in a vacuum, he's just alright to me. More than Raichu, definitely. Maybe more than Wigglytuff. Yeah, that feels right. Like, I'm going to the game corner, and I'm spending 9999 coins on them, but I'm not using them, you know? Ammonite, Hail Lord Helix. He'll go right there. Ammonite's awesome. Amistar, also awesome, but less awesome. Kabuto? Kabuto is the one I always picked. Like, when I was a kid, I didn't know what a Helix was, so I didn't pick that fossil. But I liked Kabuto when I saw him. And then Kabutops? Kabutops is fucking awesome. Like, he's Scyther, but Water Scyther. And I think Scyther is sick. So Kabutops is gonna be sick. I think he goes right there. But I like these two more than these two. These two are honestly only up here because of Twitch Plays Pokemon. Without that little boost in the zeitgeist, these guys are nowhere near the top. But as is, they're pretty awesome. Aerodactyl, that's either mid or less than great. I don't love Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl has that Crimson Chin looking ass. Like, why is his jaw so goddamn big? And it's like, thinking back to my playthroughs, I know I've used an Aerodactyl, but he wasn't the star of that team. I was using him for the sake of trying something new. So it's like, even when I know he exists, I'm not going out of my way for him. But he's not like overly offensive. It's just I just don't love the way he looks. I guarantee it. Snorlax is a friend. Snorlax is awesome. Snorlax goes pretty high for me. Still going. Still going. Still going. Still go. Right there. Snorlax, like many other people, Snorlax is my spirit animal. Homeboy just loves to eat and sleep, and I love that. And then this motherfucker took 20 years to stand up. He like me, for real. He's cool. I like him a lot. Ooh, we're getting into legendary territory. Alright, so Articuno. Articuno is awesome, I think. Team Mystic all the way. Yeah, just barely awesome. I like it more than Pikachu, and that's it. But Team Mystic all the way. Articuno, the prettiest of the trio, the one I like the most. Zapdos is just aight. Zapdos is just alright. The only reason Zapdos gets out of mid for me is because he's a good competitive mon. Yeah, it's just like, he and Jolteon do the same thing, where Gen 1 didn't... Zapdos and Jolteon do the same thing, where Gen 1 didn't really know how to convey the electric type, so they just made him spiky, like static electricity. And I don't think that's great. Like, solely based on looks, Zapdos is probably less than great. But I can neutralize that in my brain and also have fond feelings for it because of competitive battling. I do like it more than Jolteon. But just barely. Actually, I don't think that's true. Looking at them both, that's not true. And then Moltres. Moltres is less than great. Moltres is pretty far down on this list. I like it more than Tauros, but he just looks like a rubber chicken that someone lit on fire. And that's kind of funny, but it does not convey legendary energy. Like, nothing about Moltres screams legendary to me. This isn't a legend. This is just like there were three guys on a team sitting in cubicles all next to each other, and the guy who designed Articuno, he cooked. He went crazy with it. And he was like, I'm gonna clock off early. And then the guy who designed Zapdos, he was there. He was there, he put in a valiant effort. And then the guy who designed Moltres was like, oh shit, those guys are leaving? And then he just submitted his rough draft that he drew on a napkin the night before. It's like he is just so much lower than these two in every single way. There's nothing I like about this Pokemon. He's not outright offensive. Like, he's no terrorism. But he's just not great. Dratini. Dratini is alright. No, Dratini's awesome. I like it more than Pikachu. Dratini is pretty awesome. Ooh, Dratini's more awesome than I thought. Dratini goes there. Solely because it is cute. And it also, like, it feels rare enough in the game to where it actually feels like the pseudo-legendary status that it has. Like, you can get one at the game corner, which is kind of soft IMO. Like, I feel like it should be limited to the Safari Zone. Well, actually, it shouldn't be in the Safari Zone at all. What is, like, this literal legend amongst normal Pokemon doing at a zoo? Like, this is something maintained by man. What are you doing here? I feel like Dratini should be, like, a 1% fishing find on one random ocean route. And that's it. Like, it should be, like, schoolyard rumors rare. And then, like, the only time you actually see one is when you face Drake. Or the only time you see an actual dragon type is when you face Drake at the end of the game. It just feels off in the Safari Zone. But it's a cute design. It's cool. I like it. It, like, has an air of mystique to it that conveys what it is pretty well in my brain. And then there's Dragonair, which is... that goes straight to the top. That goes straight to the top. Yeah. Dragonair does everything Dratini does, but 100 times better. Like, this feels like a legend. Dragonair is so fucking beautiful as a monster design. And it takes the rareness and the mystique that is established in Dratini and then evolves it and goes forward with it. And then it has these little orbs on it that convey like a little bit of mystical power. And it is just perfect design. And then they kind of dropped the bag with Dragonite. Dragonite is still awesome. There is no doubt about that. But he's less awesome than Dratini. I feel like Dragonair and Dragonite should have been two different evolution lines. Because Dragonite just does not, like, it does not bring the ideas that are established with Dratini and Dragonair and bring them to their coalescence, to their peak. It doesn't resolve the ideas that are established here. It's just like, oh, this is a dragon. This is a dragon. They're both dragons. Bing, bang, boom. But regardless, like, I still like Dragonite a lot. He's just a tubby bubby. And I love that about him. And he's not afraid to be who he is. But he's nowhere near Dragonair. I can kind of get what you're saying with that. With Ampharos, Mega Ampharos being a Dragonair evolution. Because it keeps the little orb motif going throughout. And it's majestic as fuck with the hair. So I can kind of see that. And now we are down to the final two. Mewtwo. Mewtwo is peak awesome. Mewtwo isn't peak, but Mewtwo is at the top of awesome. It's just, this is purely the child in my brain seeing something and it's like, that's fucking cool. And I am listening to that child right now. Mewtwo is so sick. And, then it's like, he's also in Smash, and that's sick. And the movie, he's such a cool fucking character. The first movie, he's such a cool fucking character. I love him. I love him. And he feels legendary. And on top of that, he doesn't feel legendary in the same way that the birds do. Like, these feel like natural. Like, these feel like they were always a part of the world. Mewtwo is man-made, and his design makes you feel like he is man-made. And it's like, the whole point of Mewtwo is the scientists were trying to create the ultimate life form, like Shadow the Hedgehog. And they succeeded. And it's like, this motherfucker looks man-made. He looks like a little alien test tube baby. And like, he has powers that's beyond his own physical being, which is why he needs extra blood supply going to his brain, because he's beyond what nature would allow. And then he has little alien configurations to him. It's just, his design perfectly conveys what he is. You know? And I almost want to put him in peak. But there's just something that drags him just a little further down for me. I don't know what that is, but this doesn't feel right. This feels right. And then Mew. Mew is awesome. I love Mew. Mew's going right next to Mewtwo. Yeah. Yeah, that feels right. And this is just... This just kind of falls into the I like cats smile logic that got Meowth up to awesome. But Mew's cute. And Mew is supposed to be the originator of all Pokemon on Earth. It is the common ancestor to all the individual species. And the way they chose to denote that in its design is to make it look like a fetus. But they do it in a way that's so fucking cute and it's not off-putting at all. It's a little magical cat fetus. And that's adorable. And it's like, yeah, I can see every other Pokemon evolving from this. And just like, then there's like the rarity and the mystique and the schoolyard rumors of Mew under the truck and how unobtainable this guy is. Like, Mew's cool. Mew is really cool. Like, they knew what they were doing with these two. And, yeah, that is the list. Excluding Mega Forms, because those are Gen 6 Pokemon in my brains. But that is... Let me see if I can pull up the whole list at once. That is the whole list. If you would do something different, if you have any critiques, make your own list. These are my opinions. I'm sticking to them. It is not up for debate. Oops, my bad. Yeah. Gen 1, very top heavy. And I don't think I'm nostalgic for them. Like mid is average, right? Like, everything here is what I think is average, and I don't have very many feelings towards. The majority of Pokemon I find above average. That's not bad. And like, I don't have a whole lot of nostalgia for Gen 1. Gen 1 wasn't my generation, Gen 3 was. I'm very biased towards Gen 3. I just think Gen 1 Gen 1 did a lot right, I think. And it's like Gen 1 had Gen 1 was in a good position to where it didn't really have anything holding it back in the beginning. You know? Like, it's not being super derivative of other monster friend games or other media outlets that it has to worry about distincting itself from at this point in time. Like, Pokemon were the trendsetters. And I think in some cases, it falls short because of that. Looking at you, literal rat, literal bird, literal snake. Like, there are some things that it's just like, that's not a monster, that's just an animal. Where it feels like nowadays they don't do that because they need to differentiate themselves and they need to have concepts beyond a monster or an elemental animal. But all in all, I think a lot of Gen 1 does a lot right. And a lot of them are just really fucking cool monster designs. And then uh two of my all-time favorite Pokemon are from Gen 1. That's gotta mean something. Alright. Appreciate you watching the tier list part of the stream. Now we will pivot over to Pokerogue. Nope, not Pokedoku. Pokerogue. Um, I don't remember how I had chat lined up last time. I think I was down here. I think I was right here. And then chat was above me. I think that's how I had it. No thank you. Yes, I will switch. Let's bring out Victor though. Where is the music? Let me know if the music's too loud. It doesn't look like it's picking it up. Yeah, it doesn't look like the audio is it's picking up the audio, and I don't know why. Hmm. Why I like that though? Hmm. Why? 1 second. Why aren't you picking up the sound, sir? Hmm. Am I dumb? There we go. Okay. Hopefully that volume is good. Please let me know if it is too loud. Check, check. Yeah, it's a little loud. Hopefully that's good. Let us move on. I think this guy has sturdy. The answer was yes. Another one? Oh no. He's so sturdy. Oh, I didn't mean to click Thrash. I meant to hit Crunch. Oh, that's bad for me. Rhyperior? Please be gentle. My speed. My damage? Where did you go? Sir? Do you have a reason? Ow! Fuck, dude. Oh, it's Ivy again. Hyper Beam? Oh no. That's a free DD. I'm greedy. Oh, I got Sucker Punch. Oh no, I got scared. Goodra. Yummy! He's so beefy. Oh no. Easy Sticky Web. Easy Thunder Wave. Big damage. No damage. Where is my damage? This might be bad, boss. LOL. He had a... big damage. Let's go Snorlax. I got burnt off flamethrower. Come on, bruh. You're faster? Oh, you're still dead. Nice. I'm fine. Yeah, I think I can just start setting up with Chi-Yu. Yeah, I didn't res my goons. Maybe I should just use the normal revive instead of a max revive, so they can get some experience. Big damage, jeez. Oh, these mud sails are gone. They are no more for this earth. Did it have sturdy? Does this mon get sturdy? Oh no. Did I miss Leaf Storm? He is kind of getting sturdy, look at him. Alright, we gotta bring back Chi-Yu. We can get some Great Balls. I hit Flame Charge instead? Is that what happened? No, that's for me clicking Waterfall on Gyarados. Yeah, I don't know how he lived. That is absurd. Get some Ultra Balls. Heat Proof? Oh, he's so big and strong. It's okay. We live those. Egg. Ew, yuck. Hyper Fang isn't bad. I like him. That's my favorite Oricorio form. Not bad. Quiver Dance Oricorio. Do I have to? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to pronounce this Pokemon's name. Garganackle these nuts. Magcargo is a funny guy. Not the burn. Chilling water. Dookie buns. Rapier is a big ass dude. Ooh, I like both of these Pokemon a lot. Lava Plume hits everything? Oops. Good thing I did not just burn my guy. That would have been bad. Goodbye. I think I want Ice Fang for coverage, and I'm never clicking Thrash. Hey, look, a grass type. Yummy! That boy's solid as a rock, and it still don't matter. Is there a reason for me, like, to save my egg vouchers? Should I just use them? What do you mean the legendary they want? Oh, is the legendary on the gumball machine? Is it? Oh, that isn't just for decoration. Oops. I guess that makes sense. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. I just thought they just put a guy on there to be like, yo, these are rare. Smile. He's so tanky. Does sunlight stay out for like the next 4 turns? Or does it go away when Torkoal goes away? I guess it stays. Oh, I'm scared. Please flinch. Oh, I thought Shell Trap burned me. Yay, friend. Not friend. Modest isn't bad, plus Shell Smash. There are worse things. There are worse things. One of the silliest builds I ever used to do in competitive playing was setting up Sticky Web and Stealth Rocks for entry hazard and breaking sashes. And then I would use Metronome, Flame Whip, what is that Pokemon called? Eatmore. Flame Whip decreases the defense every time it hits. It's an 80 base power fire move. And then you would have Metronome as an item, which would increase the power if you used it more than once. Yeah, you should definitely try Pokerogue. It's a browser game. It's free. Just do it. They're so fast. Oh, I don't have Dragon Dance anymore. That would explain that. Easy. Am I gonna get flame bodied? Doo-doo. 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 Darkspawn? What a cutie. What a cutie. Well, guess we're torch sawing with Chiyu. Oh, he's well baked. Oh no. Gross. Out of Galvantula. Let's just click a Bug Buzz. And now we start clicking buttons. Ew, yuck. Get him out of here. I hate that guy. He looks like he stinks. Then we replenish that with a big nug. Gyarados. Ugh. Let's bring Galvantula out. Colossal is that dude. You need to put some respect on him. He's the evolution of Carkol. He's just a funny guy, you know? Oh, I don't know why I just tried to set up. I'm about to switch out. I love her. Him. My bad. I love them. Let us heal Chiyu and get an X speed. Kabu. Spooky Typhlosion. Blast Burn? Okay. Oh, if you say so, boss, go ahead and recharge. Good night. Who is next? Bring him out. Do you have drought? You do not have drought. Goodbye. He has Typhlosion and Typhlosion? We might make it all the way. We might just make it all the way. However, I do think I'm gonna... Oh no. I do think I'm gonna call it after this one. Don't need to be staying up too late again. Plus, I'm already super sleepy. So we gonna make it to 121. And then try our luck another day. I don't have anything for this. Let's just do Snorlax. Do you think he knows that white smoke doesn't prevent you lowering your own stats? He must not. He must have theory crafted that strategy and then didn't test it. Alright, we will... It would be kind of cool. We will call it there for the night. I greatly appreciate those of you who stopped by. And hope to see y'all again soon. Have a good night.